Hello, good evening, and welcome to Final Boss Fight. My name is Jeff, and I am joined after quite a while, quite a long hiatus, by my very good friends Dark Lord Richard,
Hello.
Stanza,
Heyo.
and Robin and Sarah, and possibly a Luna as well, somewhere about. Hello. And we are back with Brindlewood Bay. It's been a while. But I think from what I've heard, everybody's really looking forward to getting back into this, to getting back to our favourite murder mavens.
Yep.
So, without further ado, let's get into it. We haven't done the cozy vignettes. We didn't do the cozy vignettes last time. These are like the little scenes that, like the opening credits of the TV shows. So, I'll go around and just want to one or two sentences, just like a typical scene in the life of your murder maven. We'll start with Robin.
Probably if one moment when the cafe's kitchen's broken down, she's brought in loads of food, and it's been a montage of roping everyone into kind of cook with her.
Is this just like a madcap scene? Like, everything's on fire, food's flying around everywhere.
And I just walk in with a freshly caught fish, and I'm like, alright,
What? Sarah, what would Rose's little vignette be?
Roses will just be like sort of nice things that are going on. So there'd be a little bit of her doing some crochet or some knitting, maybe sitting reading a book, and then just like walking down the high street, chatting to people, waving at them as she goes past. Just a little bit into everyone's business like normal.
Stanza, what would Myrtle's typical day be?
I guess I was inspired by the going fishing attire I picked, so I just it's like what is the optimal time of day to go fishing?
Just like standing there, waiting at the bus stop with a fishing rod and for yeah.
It's like, well, I'll just try a long period of time and then try leave before I fall asleep.
And Richard, what would Livia's vignette be? And you've got an extra bit to do this. It says here, because you ticked this off, you have to narrate how dark entities subtly reveal themselves.
Oh, Christ, I do, yeah.
That's the reason why I did this.
I forgot these would carry on. So I was just taking it. Yeah, tick them off. Okay. So, with the help of Philippe, her valet, Livia has taken to recreating a English Civil War battlefield in her garden, which is substantial. And I don't know if anyone's ever seen the film A Cock and Bull Story, and if you haven't, you should. But there's a bit there where someone is recreating a battle they fought in the garden, in like great depth and detail, and that's very much what she's doing when she's got figures arrayed to represent the royalist and parliamentary forces. I'm trying to think of a particular battle that it is. Edge something or other. But that one, Edge Hill. Battle of Edge Hill. And she's sort of wandering around orchestrating things and pointing out where cavalry should be and that sort of thing. And as she does this every so often, she sort of sees these figures she's set up to be various soldiers, but at the corner of their eye, they seem to change and flicker into more ominous, evil shapes. And she sort of looks around, and it's back to just being the models that she's assembled as normal.
I love that. Well,
so are they mannequins or?
It's a variety. There's a variety of small scale models to mannequins. She's got people. She's roped people in to just stand there for hours at a time.
Yeah. Does she have just cardboard cutouts for to show mass? They're not doing anything particularly exciting, or is that too common for her?
I think she understands it's not. She's not Louis XIV, and she's not an absolute monarch who can just tell people to stand still.
Like high class, mannequins with really detailed.
There's a variety.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I
So,
imagine you have suits of armor somewhere in your house.
She has a couple of things. She's not a massive collector, but she's got some things.
so without further ado, let's roll the opening credits for Brindlewood Bay.
It's a beautiful day in Brindlewood Bay. The murder mavens are on the case, solving mysteries, we're serving up cake, and it's a beautiful day in Brindlewood Bay. It's a beautiful day in Brindlewood Bay.
It is a beautiful day in Brindlewood Bay, or perhaps I should say, it's a beautiful evening in Brindlewood Bay. We are rewinding time slightly. This is Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve just gone, and our murder mavens are out on the town. Eudora Coffin, in her capacity as president of the Brindlewood Bay Lunch Club, has organised the annual Ugly Christmas Sweater Carol fundraiser. And she has roped in our murder mavens along with some other townsfolk to go around the houses raising money for various local good causes. Livia already looks very very unhappy
Yeah,
about
This is my Christmas. This is what happened.
this.
Does Lavinia have one saying "Jingle all the way"?
Well,
No.
let's go around.
I feel like we're going to have to we'll figure out a way to convince Livia to wear a sweater.
Well, let's go around and everybody can describe what their ugly Christmas sweater looks like. Let's start with Stanza. Do you want to kick us off? Myrtle.
Okay.
Myrtle, do you want to kick us off with the ugly Christmas sweater?
Well, it's okay. Question: how many of our sweaters have been made by the lovely Rose?
That's a good question. All of them.
All of them. Rose will happily have made all of them
Beautiful.
with appropriate motifs. So, like, sort of like fishing rods. So,
Well, now I'm imagining a set of reindeer pulling a ship.
yes, exactly that kind of thing.
Oh,
I'm
brilliant.
satisfied with that.
Livia, what would your ugly sweater that you've been coerced into wearing look like?
Well, I'm going to say that what Livia has done is brought with her one of said mannequins, which is modelling the jumper in question. And every house they go to, she basically puts a tenner in the charity box to exempt herself from having to take part actively. And she's not even managing the mannequin because Philippe's doing that. So she has very, very little to do, and is
Oh.
clearly not happy about any of this. She doesn't. I mean, the only sweater she might own would perhaps be some sort of cashmere thing, but
Right.
she's-
So Rose will still have made her a sweater, whether or not you choose to use it.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She'll have made it from like really good quality, lovely, soft, like an Angora silk blend, something like that. So it's really good quality, and it's got a delicate motif of some kind of battle-related thing just around the yoke. It's not a really awful over-the-top one. And it'll still be. And I mean, I assume she's still not going to use it.
Yes. I mean, Livia will cite some manner of religious exemption
Yeah.
for Get Out Christmas, whichever religion is convenient and appropriate at the time.
I assumed the mannequin was going to wear your sweater.
It is.
Yeah.
But this is also, I'm also saying, because Livia is a practicing insert religion
Yeah.
here,
Pastafarian.
she cannot wear
Oh,
such
brilliant.
jumper.
I was saying to Robin and Sarah over the weekend, I know one of my favourite things about running this game is putting Livia into these situations that she absolutely hates.
I am not unaware that and this is true in RPGs and in real life, that people find my inflexibility in some matters amusing and will test it.
Oh,
I haven't rolled my dice. Haven't even got my dice down.
Oh God, no.
Sorry, just on that subject.
well, while Robin's getting dice, Rose, what's your ugly Christmas sweater looking like?
Rose's ugly Christmas sweater. Oh, she's just gone big and over the top with loads of intricate Fair Isle Christmas decorations. There's Christmas trees, there's snowman, there's thanks, Robin. There's Father Christmas, there's reindeers, just all lots and lots of patterns on it. And because it's proper Fair Isle, it's double thickness, so she's toasty.
Oh, that's brilliant. And finally, Birdie.
Birdie will have gone even worse than that. She'll have like the full 3D reindeer head kind of sticking out, reindeer bum on the back. Christmas lights all over it. And a stone-on frying pan, which actually has a brick in the end of it.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Why
Also,
does the reindeer have a frying pan?
also in your little party, Eudora Coffin is leading the way. Obviously, she's organised it. She's leading the way, wrestling the tin as she goes. There's also Elspeth Adams, an elderly widow who she's the sort of person who people go to make sure she's all right. People go to make sure she's getting she's safe. She's got enough food, that sort of thing. Alice Burton, the young girl from the tea rooms who you met in the first episode, she's with you. She looks just as unhappy to be there as Livia does. It's whenever she can, she's hiding behind everybody else, out on her phone, doesn't want to take part at all. But she's been coerced into being there. She'll be there. And Betsy Yep.
And make sure her scarf is wrapped well around her neck.
How old is Alice?
Alice, I think we said she'd be 17 or so. She's not.
Oh.
Yeah, she's not.
I'm going to give her a drink every so often from one of the many secret.
She told you she was 18.
I don't think she cares.
Don't think she cares.
Yeah, Livia does not care. I mean, if it was an absolute 10-year-old, she might do the same.
Because Rose feels she's got this connection, she's made her a Christmas jumper as well, and it's got little Christmassy smartphones and books and things like that on it.
That's beautiful. And the final member of your party is Betsy Mackenzie, a loud Scottish, big lady who's likes to be the centre of attention. She belts out all the carols, trying to drown everybody else out. Completely out of tune. Can't hold a tune to save her life. She just likes belting them out as loud as she can.
One of those Edinburghs.
And you're making your way through the town. Things are going, it's going quite well. The tin is getting quite full. There's the crunch of boots on snow as you're walking through. There's the smell of oranges, mulled wine. Some houses you come to, you can hear tinkling silver bells. And then you approach the grand home, who belongs to Amelia Hawthorne. She's one of the richest people in Brindlewood Bay. In fact, she's probably in the same social circle as Livia. But compared to Livia, where Livia is friendly and outgoing and everybody loves Livia, nobody likes Amelia. Amelia's the sort of person who never appears, never has a kind thing to say. She rarely ever leaves the house, gets her servants to do everything, family to do everything for her, that sort of thing. But lights are on. You happen to know that this is a time when Amelia's family comes to town for Christmas to spend the time at this grand house. So you might get something from them. You never know. You get to the home. Eudora knocks sharply on the door with a tin. He's wrestling. You all burst into a rousing, or some of you burst into a rousing rendition of "We Three Kings." Betsy is there belting it out. Can barely hear anybody else. Can't hold a tune to save her life. But
Birdie's singing all the wrong lyrics that are rude.
Nobody hears because of Betsy. Apart from probably whoever's next to you, maybe Myrtle or Rose are next to you, and they just they give you a nudge in the ribs maybe. But you get into the second verse, something about gold, presenting gold, and the door opens, and a tall middle-aged woman in a red suit steps out onto the porch. I think probably Livia again. You know these people. You recognise this to be Caroline Hawthorne, Amelia's niece. And she like raises a hand and like, excuse me, everybody. Do you think you could play a funeral dirge, please? Only we've just discovered my aunt's body in her bedroom. It looks like she's been strangled by a string of pearls.
That is the appropriate method of murder for people of our class. Anything else is considered gauche.
Yeah, this ain't night. This ain't night. This ain't night. It's totally inappropriate dirge, but she sings it anyway.
Yeah. The other people in your party, Elspeth, Betsy, Alice, they're like, especially like Elspeth and Betsy, they like start panicking. What do we do? What, should we go and get the police? What do we do? And Eudora kind of takes charge and she says, "All right, I'll take Elspeth, Alice, and Betsy to the police to get Inspector Dalrymple, who, despite Livia's best efforts, still has not resigned." Sheriff gets Inspector Dalrymple, and who was the doctor's name was? The doctor's name was, just looking at my notes, Dr. Morgan Stern, to the coroner, the local GP coroner, also incompetent, as you well know. We'll go and fetch them. We need to go and fetch them. They can take charge of it, and the four of them tot off, leaving you four alone. But Caroline says to you, "I've heard of you, your little mystery club. It would be great if we could somehow avoid a scandal. And when that Dalrymple gets here, I'd like to be able to say that this is the murderer. It's like minimum of fuss. So, I've heard of you and your little murder club. Do you think you could poke around a bit to try and find out what happened?"
Gladly.
That's what we do best.
Now, Catherine. No, I know her name's Caroline, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Catherine.
Caroline.
Catherine.
Caroline.
Where's Caroline?
No, I'm Caroline.
Is she? Oh, okay. Okay, Caroline. Are you wanting just to find the genuinely guilty party or a disliked cousin? What?
I think
who can?
I think it would look best if we actually found the guilty party. I can't believe it's any of my family. I mean, it's not like there's any stories where a family gets together in a big house and somebody dies, and I'm sure there's like no stories like that or no popular movies like that around, are there?
Not at all.
Daniel Craig pokes out from the side. Somebody call me.
Yes. Shoot Daniel Craig away.
We got this. Caroline leads you.
I really enjoyed Glass Onion. Sorry.
Caroline leads you into the house, and in the foyer, it's like a big grand foyer, like staircase going off upstairs. There's like on the side, there's a fire, roaring fire, like smell of birchwood, like warming the place up. And gathered around are a number of people. Somebody please take notes, because this is a long list of names I'm about to read out. Caroline introduces all these people. So she, obviously Caroline Hawthorne, the niece. She introduces her father, Thomas Hawthorne, Amelia's brother. And he's like wearing a plum-coloured smoking jacket. In fact, he's got a pipe and is busy puffing away. Another brother, Jimmy Hawthorne, red face, glass of sherry. He's like sprawled out in a chair, calling out. It's like, "No, you get in there." He's like singing, "Ding dong, the witch is dead." Ah. And then
Birdie joins in.
and then passes out. Just like completely blotto. Magdalena Hawthorne, who I believe is Thomas Hawthorne's wife. She's, look at her, she's like smiling, she's like looking through a deck. It looks like a deck of tarot cards she's got. Thought that might get your attention. She's like shuffling through a deck of tarot cards. She's got like a ridiculously large silver cross on a chain around her neck.
Is she Caroline's mum as well?
Yes.
Cool. Oh. I think I've got people mixed up. No, never mind, sorry. No, yes.
So
it has been established who Caroline's parents were, but presumably
Caroline,
it's one of Amelia's siblings.
Yeah, Caroline is Thomas's daughter, yeah. So Thomas and Magdalena are Caroline's parents.
It could have been a second marriage.
Also present are Caroline introduces her son and daughter, Everett Hawthorne, who is wearing an overly sized like cable knit sweater. He's like very energetic. He's like making finger guns.
He definitely did it. I've taken against him from the start.
If any of you watching movies, like Rose said, you like watching movies, you may recognize him. He's a movie star. You probably have seen a couple of his movies. He's like into westerns.
Oh, so how old is he?
Probably like mid-20s. Not that old.
Oh, right, okay.
Yep.
That's fine.
Also, there is Skylar Hawthorne, tall, beautiful runway model. She's like there making her presence known, likes to be the center of attention. Avery Partridge, who is Caroline's husband. He just got this permanent sneer on his face. And sitting in a chair, like armchair off to one side, huddled in furs, Caroline introduces her grandmother, who they all just call Mother Hawthorne. And she just like looks like skeleton with skin stretched over it, and just like blind in one eye, just like there, doesn't say very much. Nobody knows her first name. Nobody remembers her first name. Nobody can say how old she is. She just like sits there, just like watch. She's like one of those people just like watches everybody from the sidelines.
I love how spooky she is.
This is just turning into Knives Out, isn't it? Really.
Keeper, question concerning Everett and Skylar.
Yes.
Do they use the surname Hawthorne or do they use the surname Partridge?
No, they use Hawthorne. They use the Hawthorne.
Matrilineal.
And is Caroline's husband their father as well? I know I seem like I'm obsessed with paternity, but you know, it's a valid concern in these circumstances.
Yeah, Avery Partridge is their father, yes. Yeah.
Cool.
How many partridges in the patry?
I'm sure he loves that joke, by the way. You should make it at every opportunity.
Are you saying that? Are you saying that to him?
He does not have the face for a joke right now. I mean, like if Bernie wants to, he's like, I might whisper it to Bernie.
Caroline will tell you that Amelia's body, she's found in her bedroom up the stairs. There's also like some other rooms around you can explore. Something called the Chestnut Room, something called the dining room and the Christmas room.
Ooh.
And a kitchen.
Caroline, what other staff were on the premises this evening?
Just our maid and our cook. This is a one night of the year. I managed to persuade my aunt Amelia to give most of the staff the night off. So it's just bare bones, just minimum of what we need to get through the evening.
And where are they now?
They're probably out somewhere in one of the local pubs or taverns.
Oh, I meant the cook and the maid. Sorry.
Oh, the cook and the maid. They're in the kitchen. They'll be in the kitchen.
I thought you did mean the cook and maid were out of the pub.
No, everybody else. Yes, sorry, that's my mistake.
The bigger staff, the
butlers, valet,
yeah.
They're probably in the kitchen, probably getting. I don't know if they've heard about what's happened, to be honest.
The word skeleton.
Hang on. They've not told them.
They've only just found out. They've only just found out, and you were like the first people at the door.
Regardless.
Perhaps you should break the news.
Or would you prefer me to do that for you?
Oh, if you wish to.
Oh, I was directing my comment to Lydia. Since Lydia was concerned.
Oh, I mean, I might delegate this to Philippe.
Being all the servants together.
Yeah, well, servant and valet are very different things, but yes, he's.
I'm sort of imagining the familiar's room from What We Do in the Shadows.
No, well, it might be in theirs, but this is very much a Jeeves situation, as far as I'm concerned. For Philippe, he's like model of professionalism and grace.
Brilliant.
But yes, he can inform the staff.
So, with that,
in that case, can I go with Philippe because I want to see how they respond to the news?
Of course, yep. So, Rose is going to the kitchen. What is everybody else doing? Rose goes to the kitchen.
I would like to see the body.
1 for the body.
I was going to say make that 2 since Birdie's been there every time.
2 for the body. And Myrtle?
I don't really have a plan. I'm just very curious about Mother Hawthorne.
Okay, yep. So let's start with Myrtle. You say you approach Mother Hawthorne, do
Okay.
you? And she just like sits. She just like sits there, just like all like crumpled up in her furs, and she like looks at you approach.
Hello?
She just like stares at you out of one eye, like trying to size you up. This is painful. I won't be able to hold this for very much longer. This is quite painful.
Did you hear what happened? I feel like I'm being weighed like a fish.
Would this be Amelia's mother?
This is Amelia's grandmother.
Amelia's grandmother?
Amelia's grandmother.
So
For some reason, I thought it was Caroline's grandmother.
Great grandmother.
Yep.
My God, and we're missing a generation as well.
Wow. Okay, that's very suspicious. Okay. Huh. Have you anything interesting happened tonight? I
Just looks at you.
can't tell.
Just looks at you, just like doesn't say anything. She's like the sort of person who's like just like looks at you. You can't even tell if she's like she can hear you really.
Can I attempt to stare back?
Yeah. Make me a day move. And what do you think will happen if you fail this?
I will be shooed away. I'll be asked politely not to stop bothering the very old lady.
Okay. So this will be plus composure. I think if you're trying to hold a stare, it'll be plus composure. 2d6 plus composure.
My composure's not terrible. It's okay. It does not hold. I get a 5.
Well, nothing too bad happens. In fact, it's Magdalena, the one sister-in-law with the tower deck, who comes over to you and says, "Please, don't disturb Mother Hawthorne. She probably doesn't know what's going on. It's best just leave her be."
I see. So
And she shuffles her deck, and you look down at her deck. Tell me some cards that are in the that are in the tarot deck. Some of the arcanas that are in the tarot deck.
The Emperor.
5 of Cups. Death, of course.
Lovers.
Death.
Hierophant. Death.
Queen of
Devil.
Spot
Tower.
the persona player. Spot the persona player.
Chariot.
Players.
Well, this deck, you look at it, it's just the devil. One card after another. Every card you look at is just the devil. And then you look again, and it's a normal deck.
What a fascinating deck you have there.
Void clue. This is just a normal deck. Can I do a reading?
Sure.
I can't. I have no idea how to do this, so you probably do better than me. But it's like the typical thing, like what is it? Death comes out. Oh, this doesn't actually mean death. It means like change. But it always means death. That sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, that's already happened, and that's in the past slot, so it's okay. We know that.
Yeah. But you did. That was a void clue, actually, not for the case, but that was a void clue for the greater mystery. Let's go to Rose next. You go into the kitchen with Philippe.
Mm-hmm.
Philippe's very kind. He's like, no, he's very well trained. He opens the doors for everybody. And you go in there, and you got like the cook and the maid, and they're actually getting food ready because you see also a small dog in there. A Pekingese dog on the floor, and they're like getting his food ready, and it's like this elaborate process of like getting like various like meats, vegetables, grinding them all up, putting them down, and it's like this dog just like laps it up. Oh Sorry, miss, I didn't hear you come in.
Are they both female?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Good evening, ladies. My name is Rose Peel. I'm resident in the village, and this is my friend's valet Philippe. We've come to talk to you because something quite distressing has happened upstairs, and I believe you have not yet been informed about this.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. It's not Jimmy, is it? He's not made a scene. He's not made a scene. He's like waving his underpants around his head again, is he?
Not yet, but the night is still young. It's certainly possible. No, we had just come to the door, carol singing, and we were met by Caroline, who told us that her grandmother is oh no, it'd be aunt, won't it? Aunt,
Yes,
sorry.
aunt. Yeah. Yep.
Her aunt has died.
Miss Amelia.
That is correct. Yes.
Oh. I thought it had been a bit quiet for the last couple of hours.
For the last couple of hours, you say?
Yeah. He's normally down here all the time, shouting at us, trying to get food ready. But yeah, we just thought she'd been waylaid by her family. Oh. Can't say I'm surprised, really.
You're not surprised?
Oh,
Were you
especially.
Sorry, carry on.
So no, you carry on.
You were expecting her to die.
You're fishing for information. Make me a meddling move with presents.
Oh, not presents. 7.
That's enough to get you the clue, but it gives you complication as well. Yeah. The maid pipes up. Yeah, there's that argument we heard the other day between Amelia and her lawyers. I think it was. I couldn't hear what they were saying. I just know that she stormed down here complaining about her lawyers.
Oh, interesting. And how has she seemed since that time?
She did seem to be a bit on edge after that. Oh, Chestnut, stop doing that! And you look down, and Chestnut is just like weed on your shoe.
Standard.
So yeah, you can take a condition for that. You can take a condition for that, dog wee.
Well, now we know what the chestnut rumor pertains to.
Rose is practical. She's not letting it bother her just yet. And how has she seemed since then? Her normal self for the preparations for Christmas, or
her normal self was shouting at everybody all the time. She never went outside, so we got it all. She seemed to, well, she always dreaded her family coming round. She called them a bunch of money-grubbing penny pinchers. I believe it was that Caroline, her niece, who organised it all, trying to keep him with her.
All right, okay, interesting.
But I'll give you this one for free, actually. But I did hear that that Avery, no, not that Everett, her Caroline's son, he was trying to get money out of her, but she wasn't having it.
Did he say what he wanted money for? I would have thought he would have had his own.
She didn't say. She just came down here complaining about her money-grubbing penny pinchers, penny pinching family, and her money-grubbing penny pinching nephew. Great nephew.
Interesting. Just to return to the dog, is this her dog?
Yes, this is Chestnut, her beloved Pekingese. In fact, this is the 4th Chestnut. She had 3 before, and she kept on calling them Chestnut. I don't know if it was like sentimental reasons for her. She's got a flipping great big room, like this shrine dedicated to the dogs upstairs.
Do you know, did the room come first? Was it called the Chestnut Room before she had the dogs?
I don't know, miss. I'm sorry, miss. I don't know.
No.
Knowing her, it could have been either way round.
And is he a lot of work?
Oh, he's fine. He's absolutely fine. He's lovable. He doesn't take too well to new people, though. They seem to make him nervous, as I think you've just found out.
Yes, I've come to my displeasure there for you. Did you find Amelia was? I know you've said that she shouted a lot. Did the rest of the staff? Did she manage to keep staff? Have you had a high turnover?
The butler has been here probably longer than most of us, but yeah, we tend not to hang on to staff very well.
And any particular new members of staff who have anyone?
No one within the last couple of months, I don't believe.
Okay. I'm not sure if one of you would be able to. And I feel there seem to be a lot of people upstairs, and I feel there is going to be a lot more people suddenly descending. I will leave it to you two because you will know best. But do you think we need to get the rest of the staff back from their evening out?
Thank you for your consideration, Miss. I'll send out Gladys here to tell them, and then they can make their own decisions on it. But we'll see how it goes. Nobody really would miss her, I wouldn't have thought. They probably will have another drink in celebration, to be honest.
Yes, she does not sound popular. Well, is there anything else that you require at the moment?
No, miss. I think we've got everything we need down here. I think we're just happy to stay out of the way of them at the moment. I'm sure things are going to get very busy up there.
Okay. Well, someone will inform you if there are any further updates.
Thank you, miss. Thank you, miss.
Could I very briefly roleplay as Philippe?
You can, yep.
Right. So Philippe's going to walk over and go, I understand this is a trying time. You do not answer any questions about your employer to everyone. You are a stone wall. You do not criticize. You do not blame. We keep this in-house for shame in a indiscriminate European accent. Which
Like, has Philippe let Rose out? Like, held the door open for Rose first?
And then there's like
Or
long
does
stuff.
she get that as well? She get to
no.
hear
You wouldn't. Well, you might hear it, but it's not directed at you.
No, I know it's not directed at me, but is he showing some discretion or not?
Well, he's overcome with anger. This is the one of the few times you've ever seen Philippe display any emotion whatsoever, and he's incandescent with rage.
So, Philippe.
In that...
Sorry, carry on. You carry on.
I was going to say, well, in that case, Rose will wait for Philippe to come out of the kitchen, and I'll just sort of look at him and go, "Are you all right, Philippe?"
Of course, miss. Why wouldn't I be?
I just... Never mind. I just thought I heard raised voices, and it's so unlike you.
As you leave the stunned cooking maid, little Chestnut also runs out the door as Philippe exits the door. Chestnut runs out the door and runs up the stairs as well.
I am curious and concerned about role this dog has played in events.
Actually, not that it's going to make anything actually better, but as she gets back up to the hall, Rose would like to take her shoes off and just be in stocking feet. Leave her shoes by the door.
Brilliant.
Some people do that anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
I haven't until then, so I'm taking off my dog wee shoes.
Let's move on now to Birdie and Livia, who are going to the bedroom, Amelia's bedroom. So you open the door. The door isn't locked. The wallpaper is all like floral prints. There's all like very fancy lampshades. There's like a vintage dress, maybe 70s, 60s, 70s in one corner. There's a loaded bar cart which hasn't been touched. And on the bed lies the body, who Livia recognizes, of Amelia Hawthorne. On a dressing table next to her, there's a book, and it looks like it's been opened at a particular page.
Well, first things first. Livia from somewhere has acquired a drink. Is having a
from
drink.
the bar cart. From the bar cart.
But no one seems to see her make it or anything like that. She just has one.
Just appears.
And she's going to sort of walk over to Amelia and just check that she's in a suitably dignified state, because she knows that when she dies, she wouldn't want any of this, like, distraught, bad makeup, disheveled clothes type business. She would want to look, her normal self.
It doesn't look like the body's been touched at all because she still looks like she was fighting for her life because she was being strangled. So it looks like she was struggling a bit, and it looks like she's still got like that sort of like evidence of a bit of a struggle there.
That seems okay.
She was murdered. It's fine.
That's not how. That's not. I mean, Livy doesn't like her, but she's of the opinion that, like, there's a way things are done, and like, more important than solving the crime, she's like, a person should be allowed to have their dignity in death, and dignity as in, like, her view of, like, a rich, nasty woman is how she sees it. But yes,
make me a meddling roll with presence. Actually, as you're looking over the body.
that is an 8.
You cut your hand as you're looking over the body. You cut your hand. You feel your hand get cut. And you look down. There's like a shattered eggnog glass very close to the body. And you look at your
shattered eggnog glass.
Yep. And you look down, and it's like you cut your hand on it. Your finger is bleeding. So I'm going to give you a condition for that. Cut from glass. Which might have an impact if you're trying to like do anything involving hands or thing.
Whilst I'm at the body, could I have a quick scan for things like such as eggnog glass, but things out of place? Ideally, a confession, photograph of the murder, something like that.
I'll give. Not that you can see the. There's a few other objects of interest in the room, but you have to roll for them. Let's go to Birdie. What's Birdie doing while Olivia is doing this?
You mentioned a book on the bedside table.
I did indeed. Yep.
Birdie's gonna pick it up and just have a flick through to see if there's anything notable about it.
Again, meddling move with presence, please.
So I'm wanting a 7 or above, is it?
Yes. Yep.
Nope, that's a 4.
You want to change it up? If you use a crown, you can either use a crown or you can use the gold crown move and make that into a 12. Gold crown is when you're saying this reminds me of a time when
yeah.
Yep.
Amelia something or another.
Amelia. One moment.
Amanda Delacourt.
Amanda Delacourt. That's it. Thank you. Yep. Do you want to trigger that? It's a once per game.
Yeah, I'm gonna trigger that, I think.
Okay. So, what does this remind you about Amanda Delacourt?
This reminds me of the time Amanda Delacourt solved the murder of someone who'd been strangled with a pearl necklace.
Wow, a bit on the nose, but okay.
Amanda Delacourt in the Pearls of Peril.
Was there a clue in a book by next to her?
Yeah, the clue is in the book right next to her.
Okay. And how did she overcome? How did she overcome the problem?
The book had a passage on greed from family members.
Okay.
Or was there maybe a receipt or something in there?
Yeah, a receipt used as a bookmark.
So, do you want to use that as a 12 on the roll, on the meddling roll?
Please.
Cool. So, you do find a bookmark has been used to mark a page, and it's not a receipt. You look at it. It looks like a suicide note from a while ago, years ago. the name is smudged on it, so you can't really tell who or what was going on. But it's like, goodbye cruel world, I can't take it anymore, that sort of thing. But it's faded on it, as if it's faded. The paper is faded, as if it took place years ago. And you also find the book, as you take this out of the book, the text in the book catches your eye. It seems to be part of the history of Brindlewood Bay. As you read, in the summer of 1877, the crew of the whaler Deep Reaver set out from Brindlewood Bay. They returned with the strangest whale anyone had ever seen. It had tentacle-like legs and rows of oily black eyes. They sold its parts all over the world, and the proceeds were used to turn Brindlewood Bay into what it is today.
Cool.
You get the that one. Just to say, sorry.
Oops.
Bit of housekeeping first. This mystery is complexity 7. You now have 4 clues, so you're now able to, like, from any point on, you're able to enter the theorize stage. Obviously, the more clues you get, the better your chances. But we're now in that in the halfway stage.
Clueless, so.
I was going to say, it was mentioned that she was strangled by a pearl necklace.
Yes.
Now, is the pearl necklace still here? Is it
She's-
about her neck?
It's still on her neck. Yes.
Could I inspect this necklace?
Yes. Meddling move with presence, please.
8 again.
Looks like droplets of dried blood on the necklace, but you can't tell if it's there already or if it's from your hand where you cut the glass, where you cut it on your glass.
So it's dried.
Yes. Yeah.
What color is it?
Now
I asked this might inform your
I
answer.
know.
My understanding is when blood dries, after a while, it turns more brown.
Because you got an 8, which is a clue with a complication. I can't really give you the answer to that.
Damn you!
Unless you want to take another crown and bump it up to the next level.
What I would want to know is this, aside from just being viewed as a murder weapon, is this a valuable necklace? Is it genuine pearl? Is it, because I imagine I imagine Livy would have an eye.
Yeah, you'd recognise value. This seems to be quite a valuable necklace. Yeah.
I don't know if Birdie has more to do, but there's certainly some things I want to ask. But I thought,
okay. Birdie.
My only thing would have been to maybe use some flour off the bottom of a frying pan to try and look for fingerprints on the necklace.
Okay. Let's make this a cozy move. Let's not do a roll. Let's make this a cozy move because I know you wanted to say you wanted to do some more role playing between the two of you. If you want to do that between Livia and Birdie, I can make this into a cozy move. And because you're using your frying pan, I'll let you discover a clue from it. Okay. So like a little scene between Birdie and Livia, as Livia's probably patching up her finger.
Yeah. Oh God, you've caught me completely off guard with this now. I'll let Livia start it off then.
So a cozy move is this where we bring in our cozy things to help?
It's just like a moment between the two of you, where you're having like a bit of a breather. If one of you wants to like bring in cozy activity, maybe there's like a sword on the wall and it can like draw your attention, Livia, that sort of thing.
Well, the first thing I am going to say is, Birdie, must you bring a frying pan everywhere? It makes you look like, I don't know, one of the help. I understand sometimes it's a useful weapon, but could get a weapon?
But no one expects the old woman with the frying pan.
They do, because you hit everyone in town knows to suspect you with a frying pan.
They usually deserve it.
Well, that's not that. But that doesn't mean it's still not a surprise, though, is it? So
Well,
my advice: get a smaller, subtler weapon.
well, it has other uses as well. And she starts like dusting the flour onto the necklace.
Yeah. Speaking of, that makes an awful mess. And clean your pans.
Can I
Like
just do this as an aside? Why is there dry flour on your frying? If I go in the kitchen later and there's dry flour on the frying pan, you're gonna get whacked with it. I'm just putting it out there. Sorry, Rich. Carry on.
it's all right. But as I was saying, like clean your items and keep them in good shape. Should be.
I do usually. I just was pulled out in a rush. I was baking.
Is your house on fire right now? Did you run out in the middle of, and it's now just consumed by fire?
Have you caused 2 fires this session?
That's a good question. Did I leave the oven on?
I think while you're having this conversation, Livia, you can clear the bleeding finger condition because you probably just like wrapped up in a handkerchief by now. And with that, I'll say that's enough for you to discover a clue. So what clue would you like to discover?
Well, the two things I was interested in. Oh, is this concerning the fingerprints in the necklace?
Do you want
could
to
be anything.
Do you want to find a fingerprint? Yeah. What do you want? Is that what you're looking? Is that what you're trying to find?
That's certainly what Birdie was looking for.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was looking for.
Okay. Yep. So you do as you're talking to Livia, you do dust, find there of dust of flour on the necklace, and you do find some quite strong fingerprints, quite large fingerprints. Seems to be from a large hand. So you can have that clue. And Livia, what would you like to find?
I know we mentioned there was a vintage dress.
Yep.
Which I would like to inspect, and partly out of just what would be the word? Not professional curiosity, but she wants to have a look at the bar cart and just inspect. But to see if there's any eggnog on there, because that seems to be what she was drinking.
The vintage dress, nothing remarkable about it. You probably have several of the same sort of thing yourself. Nothing remarkable. But I'd say yeah, probably the bar cart does have an open bottle of eggnog on there.
Could I smell it to see if it's fresh?
You can, and it's just been open for a while by the looks of it.
But today.
Today,
not...
yeah.
And could I have a look at this suicide note as well?
Yeah, you don't see much more than Birdie found. It's faded. The general impression is goodbye cruel world, I can't take it anymore. But other than that, it looks like it was written a long time ago.
Does Livia know about any ex-husband or any significant other for Amelia that this could?
As far as you know, I don't think she ever married.
So she is a Hawthorne.
Yeah.
That's not her husband's name that she's married into.
She's a Hawthorne. Yeah.
Oh.
Why are you ruminating that? Is it right if we move on to other people? Where are
yes, I will ruminate.
Yeah, Myrtle and Rose. What are you doing? Where are you going? And Philippe. Rose has got Philippe at the moment.
I assume conditions carry over from previous sessions.
You can clear them. I don't mind. You can clear them off.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I should have said this at the start. Put some new questions in if you haven't done so already. Put some or you can use the same questions as before. But what are Myrtle and Rose doing?
Rose wants to go and see if was there an option of a study? I know you said there was a Christmas room and a chestnut room because those are the ones that stuck out in my mind because they're weird.
I think if you ask the family, they'll say that the study has been made over into the Christmas room.
To the Christmas room.
In the Christmas room, Rose wants to go and have a little poke around.
Okay.
I've not even
you-
counted
I don't actually particularly want the family to know that I'm doing it, so
Okay.
I don't know if I have to go and have a little
Well,
look.
that's
But also, my maven move is that no one questions where I am as long as I'm not being aggressive or disruptive.
yeah.
And I
Ki-
forgot my Maven move after the long cast list.
Hello.
That's during the day. Your maven move.
It's
Because
night
my
time.
one's
It's
at
night time.
night.
It's night
And I only
time.
bring it up because then my move.
Mine doesn't specific. Mine only specifies when you first enter a location, so no more.
So, trying to keep it a secret is going to be a bit difficult because as soon as you open the door, this recorded voice bellows out, "Ho, ho, ho, Merry Christmas!"
Wonderful.
And you see, like, there's a model train that chugs along the track.
Ah.
I try and step over it, but
Mhm.
yeah. Not
Um,
going to destroy all of Christmas.
And also entering, like, seeing this, like, it's Avery Partridge also sees this, and he says, "Oh, you've opened up the. Did you have to? You've opened up the Christmas room. That horrid thing. Candy-coloured nightmare that is."
Is this a regular occurrence?
This room was a study, but Amelia just took it over. It's like this all year round. Would you believe? It's almost like she wants to own the idea of Christmas itself, and not
I mean, it
anybody
looks
else have it.
put quite a lot of effort into this work. I could see the advantage to leaving it like this all year round. And I believe she is the person who lives here. Or lived here, at least.
Huh. I have no time for her at all. I want to come here myself if my wife hadn't been here as well. But they do need the Hawthorne name is important to them. Hawthorne name does carry weight, so I suppose I have to be here.
Ye-
I still hate what she's done with the place, though.
Did you have different ideas of what she should do with the place?
Just treat it a bit better. Just uphold the dignity of the name, I suppose. Of the name, what there is of the name. Just uphold it. Just not be so tacky with it. Look at all this stuff, and he's shows you all this It's like this one of those Christmas shops that's open all year round, like all the tacky stuff that's falling apart.
If this is what she loved and it is in the privacy of her own home. You seemed concerned for the upkeep of the Hawthorne when it is not your surname.
It's my wife's name, my wife's family, and my children are I suppose they're the inheritors of it as well. It's very important. The name Hawthorne will open up a lot of doors for them. Name Hawthorne is what enables me to keep in business, but
Is it? What
I
business are
wish-
you in, sir?
Oh, real estate, miss.
How interesting. And not locally?
No, up in Hastings, just along the coast. Quite a successful real estate business. I've not sold this. I've obviously not sold this house, but I've sold many houses like it. Everybody seems to be very satisfied, but they all seem to come for the name rather than anything else. They all become because it's a Hawthorne who owns the business.
So is it a business that you own, or is it that you're
I own it with my wife.
with your wife
Yes.
and you use the name to trade on it? So it is Hawthorne. I believe I've seen some of your signs around the place. And some of the larger properties. I'm gonna think of a really good question in a minute, just after.
Well, I know I was wondering something about his opinions on the chestnut room.
Yeah, if it bothers you, the Christmas room, I gather the dog has a room dedicated to them. Is that correct?
That blasted dog. She thought more about that dog than about any human alive. She bought that dog this. She's going to give him this really elaborate, expensive pearl necklace. Waste of money, if you ask me.
A pearl necklace, you say?
You got a free clue there.
Woo!
I got into,
was
I got into that.
was that the pearl necklace that has subsequently been used to murder her?
I couldn't say. I haven't seen the body.
Sorry, of course you haven't. How is it just you who seem unimpressed with this sort of gift?
Well, nobody else nobody else is going to say it, but I think Everett, my son, I think he also he doesn't care about money as such. He keeps on telling everybody he's rich already off his movies.
And is that right that he is rich off his movies? I've seen some of them myself. They're excellent.
He has made a fair amount, but money doesn't last forever.
But he's still young and the films are new. Yes, money doesn't last forever.
Long and the short of it is, we needed Aunt Amelia's money, and coming here, Caroline convinced me that coming here and playing nice, sucking up for the weekend was the best way to do it.
Indeed. And is that why all of you are here? None of you are here out of concern for Amelia herself? Or indeed, someone who seems to particularly love Christmas to have a good Christmas weekend?
If I wanted to give Christmas weekend, I'd be in my villa in Spain with my family.
You say you need money, but you then also have property elsewhere.
I'm in real estate, of course I got property elsewhere. I know how to
Nice.
manage my money.
Can I?
Yep, sorry.
Oh, no.
I'd like to examine the train.
Examine the train, yes. Make me a meddling move with presents, please.
Oh well. I'm hoping for an Easter egg. Oh, nice. That's an 8.
Nobody's rolling anything higher than a 10 this time round. It's quite impressive. So you examine the train, and it is a scale model of the Orient Express.
Yeah.
Nothing but the
Is there anyone
best.
inside it?
Nobody's inside it, and it's not making these weird patterns on the track that could teleport someone to another time and place.
You said no one was inside it. Is there like a little green dot stuck into one of the corners?
Oh, it's brilliant. But as you're watching it go round, it passes underneath a portrait. And you look at the portrait, you can see all the family, apart from one. It looks like one of them's been very neatly cut out of the portrait.
And I'm guessing at an 8, I can't make out who it is that's missing.
Not really, not from this distance, no.
Can I walk over then?
Walk over there, yeah. You can walk over. So you walk over there. I won't make you roll this again. You look at you're mentally going down the family members. You look at the portrait. It looks like Thomas is missing.
The brother.
The brother, yeah.
While she's doing that, Rose is going to carry on with her slightly argumentative, but trying not to be too argumentative line of questioning. How do your parents-in-law feel about it? This is quite a big house to be lived in by one person.
Her dog.
And the dog.
One person and her dog and her stuff. Oh, you mean Caroline and Thomas. Well, I probably shouldn't tell you this. I did hear that Amelia had cut out that Amelia's parents left in their will. They cut out Thomas. He didn't have a penny. Nearly everything was left to Amelia. Some bits for Jimmy, but Thomas was cut out of the will. He didn't take that. He didn't take that well at all.
He is here this weekend, isn't he? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have met him, yeah.
Interesting. Have you any idea why?
I try and stay out of the family's business as much as I can. That's mainly Caroline's department. I just do what I need to do to get by.
And
mean-
it's not useful to you to have this sort of information.
It's literally of no interest to me. My interest is in my business and my real estate.
And the money that you can get from the family and its use, of course.
Of course.
Well, who would you say would be most cause to gain from Amelia's death?
That depends. Do you think it was to do with money? Do you think it was someone trying to get their hand on the money? I don't know.
I don't know.
I can imagine that everybody here probably has a motive for doing it.
It certainly seems from our discussion so far that would be the case. If you'll excuse me, thank you for your time chatting, and I go over to go and stand by Myrtle and look at the picture with the cut-out picture of Thomas in it. Does he stay in the room?
He'll probably just like move out in search of something to wet himself with.
Is there a desk in the room?
There is, and it's covered with all like tinsel and holly and other junk.
And maybe some kind of fake snow frosting.
Is it locked? So I know it's the top. Is it the top of it that is covered with that? Would I still be able to access drawers?
Make me a meddling move with composure. Do you have anything that goes against? I don't think you have anything that goes against that.
Just the dog pee.
Just the dog pee. Yeah, that's not gonna That's not gonna affect it. Composure.
For God's sake, 7.
Oh dear.
Now I was wondering whether to try whip up a nice smelling tincture to help with the dog wee.
Well, other than the fact that you dislodge everything on the desk and like it makes this awful clattering noise around you, you do see inside the desk a stack of unpaid bills.
Are they in Amelia's name?
We'll say yes.
Okay.
Just to say, you now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 clues.
Ooh.
So we're getting to the stage where we can start thinking about theorizing, I think.
Nothing recently from a oh poo, my brain won't think. From her solicitors or from her lawyers, no recent letters.
Nothing that you can see. Nothing that you can see with that.
I'm not tempted to suggest a cozy move, but I feel like you'd benefit more from having the 2 options.
Myrtle, I said that as Avery Partridge starts to leave the room, you glance over at him for a moment, and it looks like just for a moment he seems to have one of his eyes appears to be oozing blood. And
are you all right?
So I feel fine. Other than the fact I needed to get a drink, I think I seem to be fine.
Is his eye still losing blood, or is the blood?
No, it's gone back to normal now.
Okay.
Another void clue.
Oh, we're getting a bunch of those today. I am a little excited for the void mystery.
So am I. I've got no idea what that's going to be yet.
It's a mystery to everyone.
Yeah, I've got to write it.
Well, I imagine we've got a fair way to go before
We've got a fair way to go before we get to that, yeah. So yeah, is there anything anybody else would like to do particularly? Yes, Livia.
Yes. Partly just to use it, I would like to use my Sam Spade ability to just wander about the house and do what I want. I want to especially check out the chestnut room.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Okay. So, and Birdie, what are you going with, or are you just like, are you doing something? So, the chestnut room. You enter the chestnut room, and how do you feel? How do you feel about dog smell in general?
Very, very bad.
Because the first thing that opens the door was holding it quite well, but it opens the door and there's like stale dog biscuits. There's just like dog odors. There's a silky cushion in one corner, and it looks like Chestnuts has somehow managed to worm his way in there while everybody else is distracted, and he's just like sitting there. But you do see that he looks like he's whispering to the corner of the room,
What?
but you don't see what it is.
The dog is whispering?
I will shout out for Philippe.
Mm.
Just cause need him. But then he'll approach the dog.
And as you enter into the room properly, you see like these portraits of other. They all look identical looking dogs, but you see like Chestnut the first, Chestnut the second, Chestnut the third. You see like dog collars hung on a little like one of those like jewelry trees. You see like little dog collars hung on it. Dog bowls with the names on them. Philippe arrives shortly afterwards. Yes, yes, madam.
The smell. I believe you will have some perfume or something. Could you just do
Of course,
something
madam.
about
And he
that?
like takes like some sort of like air freshener that he always carries around with him for this exact reason. Starts spraying around. But I think it makes it worse.
Mm.
I
Birdie.
would like to move closer to Chestnut and try see if I
Okay.
can catch any of the whispering.
We'll say that. Yeah, we can say that people are there now. Everybody's like kind of gravitated to the chestnut room now. So you get closer to it, and it just sounds like. I can't keep that. It's just like low growling, low muttering, that sort of thing. You can't make obviously no words you can make out.
So just for scale, how big are these dogs?
I don't think they're all that big actually. They're probably smaller than
Pekingese
Luna.
is
Yeah.
They're smaller than Luna.
Right.
Yeah.
Birdie's gonna kind of go in and just pick up the dog, like, "Hey, what you found there, little guy?"
Starts trying to bite you.
Just soothing strokes, trying to calm it down. If it starts growling, stop growling, you little bastard.
Could we see what was in that sort of corner that the dog was at?
Make me a meddling move with presence.
That is 8, but I would like to do that Amanda Delacroix book.
You only get it
Good on
once.
that.
You only get it once per game.
Ah, damn! Right, now what else I got? Because I believe I've got other things I can do.
You got crowns. You got crowns.
Now, all the crowns they'll have stayed used that I've used before, right? Like,
Yes, they will stay used. Yes.
Okay.
Crown of the Queen, any order, Crown of the Void, top to bottom.
Yeah.
And he's already marked off a crown of the void.
Yeah. All right.
You're running out of crowns.
I've got many. Could I use a crown of the Queen? One of those ones.
Yeah. So just pick a prompt and narrate what it says. Yeah.
Okay. A flashback showing how you were an imperfect sister or daughter,
Okay.
and there shall
Crowns
be
coming out.
a flashback to Livia and her sister, who was called Zenobia, and which they are, say, like 18-ish, similar sort of ages, and she is mildly poisoning her sister.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got questions about Olivia, but that's a different thing.
Yep.
Sibling wanks.
Yep.
So, as you go to the corner where Chestnut was busy muttering to, the hairs on the back of your neck do raise up as if there's like something like a chill sort of presence there. but then you see that it's because it looks like there's a part of the wall that can slide away.
Whoa.
Let's
Looks like
slide it away.
It looks like a hidden passage, a hidden crawl space leading to another part of the house.
I shall have Philippe open this door. He opens all the doors.
Yep.
Frying pan raised, Birdie goes in first.
Well, is there a kind of smell that dogs like and are calmed by? Because I don't want to assume lavender.
Probably dog wee.
Dogs are calmed by the smell of their own wee?
I don't know. I just said that because because it's funny.
The dog isn't wearing a ridiculous pearl necklace.
No.
No.
There's
Are
only one.
any of the dogs in the pictures wearing ridiculous pearl collars or diamond collars or anything obscene? And any of the ones hanging on the jewelry tree suitably?
Yes, for the pictures, they're all like wearing like similar sorts of like pearl collars. Not on the jewelry tree though.
Okay.
Birdie, you crawl through the crawl space. Frying pan at the ready. There's a ladder at the end of it. You climb up the ladder. There's a trap door. Trap door opens. You're back in Amelia's bedroom.
Interesting.
This dog definitely killed her. Like 100%.
Just try to get the necklace off her
And now that you're back in the bedroom, I'll say this. You look at the pearl necklace that's around Amelia's neck. It does look too small to fit properly around the neck. Shall
we theorize?
Would you like me to run down the list of clues?
Can I do one more thing first?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Can I take Chestnut and take her back to the room with all the family in and put him down and see if he goes to anyone in particular to see if there's anyone he's particularly attached to? So my reasoning is,
okay,
if someone has gone, and they might not have done, but it's just cool if they have, if they've gone through the crawl space in Chestnut's room past Chestnut's bed, they must be on reasonably good terms with him.
Okay. You put Chestnut down on the ground, and Chestnut runs around for a bit. Actually jumps up into Mother Hawthorne's lap, and it's like the only time you see her react because she starts stroking him, and he just nestles up and cuddles up into her lap.
Does she say anything when she's doing that other than start stroking him?
No.
Okay, well it was quite a long shot anyway.
So clues you have: a shattered eggnog glass found near the body, a secret crawl space that leads from Chestnut's room to the bedroom, a suicide note from years ago, a stack of unpaid bills that she found in the Christmas room, an argument between Amelia and her lawyers, droplets of dried blood that I think you found on the pearl necklace, Amelia's rejection of a request for money that you learned from the maid, a Hawthorne family portrait with Thomas cut out of it, the fact that Amelia's parents will cut out Thomas and left nearly everything to Amelia, an extravagant gift for Chestnut, the pearl necklace, the pearl collar, and fingerprints on the pearl collar.
Quick question. Would this mystery typically be solved in the realms of normalcy and not weird, crazy stuff?
At this point, yes, it's all normal.
Because I had a less mundane explanation.
You can still try to if you want to, but I think at the moment they're all normal mundane.
I'm interested in your thoughts though.
Oh,
definitely, yeah.
There's been some manner of body swap with Amelia as the dog. The dog is actually the one that's dead. That's why they when they transformed, the collar was too tight and choked them. That's and this was done for nefarious purposes to hopefully, you could take control of a woman who appeared to have the mind of a dog in her affairs very easily. I think this is watertight, personally. I'm like, when the police get here, I want to go, case closed, guys.
So you have 11 clues.
So it's
The-
an argument between Amelia and her lawyer? Oh yeah, Amelia. Okay, Amelia.
Yeah. The more
Okay.
clues you can get into the theory, the better your chances of winning, because at the moment, if you get all of them in, you'll be at +4. So get as many clues as you can in.
Right. Serious theory talk now.
Dry blood is pretty easy. It could either be from Livia's cut hand, or it could be that during the struggle for her life, she managed. Well, okay, I'd say she managed to get them in the nose or something, but I don't think anyone here has a broken nose. Is the problem with that?
Could have been bitten by the dog going through the court. Whoever it was could have been bitten by the dog.
Oh.
That's a serious bite if it draws blood.
Not necessarily. It could just be a little. I mean, we haven't really investigated whether anyone in the family, you know,
on their hands, which possibly we should have done before this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or bite wounds, but possibly. Like, it's not outside. It's a
Hmm.
possibility.
I'd connect the unpaid bills with the argument with the lawyer.
Yeah.
See, I think she wanted to leave everything to the dog,
Yep.
which
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
a complicated legal thing that you technically you can't do. You have to have a trust set up, which the dog is the benefactor of, because dogs can't own property.
Was it tied to the pearl collar? Maybe, like in
Well, I
terms
think
of
that-
like how you transfer money into items and then you pass those down instead of the money directly.
I think that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. With like, she's frittering money away and all sorts of things, not paying bills, but she's buying pearl collars for dogs.
Well, I wondered if it's not that she's bought a pearl collar, but this is some heirloom, because all the dogs had a fancy pearl collar on, and her family or her lawyers have been encouraging her to sell it to pay off the bill, because everyone thinks this is bloody stupid, because well it is, and she's still absolutely steadfastly saying no, she's going to keep it and give it to the dog.
That makes sense.
It sounds like, so they said it was big fingerprints that we found, which would suggest it would be
One of the nails.
Thomas or Avery, I would say.
Thomas, yeah.
Avery
Oh, no,
hated the dog.
I was going to say Everett, because he was the one who went and asked for money, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he wears cable knit sweater things, which is inherently suspicious.
I mean, I'm wearing a Christmas jumper. Would you be suspicious of me if I went and put a
Yes.
cable jumper on?
Yes.
Even if the cables made pictures of owls?
Yes.
More so if they made pictures of owls?
Yes.
Gonna wear that jumper on Saturday.
Owls are suspicious inherently as well.
Gonna wear that jumper on Saturday, Richard.
The heads turn round.
They do.
You know.
See in the dark, they're class.
They're
But
very
suspicious.
brains, though.
Is that not suspicious?
I mean, sometimes they're
See in the
comfortable.
dark, can turn its head round. Suspicious.
Mad skills.
The suicide note.
I would. My first guess or speculation would be to tie it with Thomas being cut out of the will. Like maybe he was becoming estranged from the family at that point. I'm not sure how it connects to the rest of the mystery, though.
So the suicide note. It could be if the dog Chestnut belonged to her late husband, lover, whatever. So Chestnut had significance, and the collar pearl nonsense, that was something he did. He really loved the dog, and he died at Christmas.
I thought
Right.
Amelia never married, or is it a secret husband?
Secret lover.
Well, yes. Could just be as a lover rather than a husband who killed himself at Christmas for reasons. She's kept a suicide note.
Oh, maybe Thomas was written out of the will because he murdered Amelia's secret lover / possible fiance in the past, and her parents covered it up, and that's why he was cut out of the will.
I thought you were going to say one of the previous chestnuts.
Well, that too. They could have done that, but that could have been a reason for him to be cut out of the will because he broke his sister's heart and.
What did he make the
name.
was it like a murder suicide dog husband dog person, you know?
I was
I'm
genuinely meaning it is that like nothing to do with the dog, nothing to do with any of that. That it was he was involved in a murder that would have been scandalous.
so why would he have murdered Amelia's potential husband?
Stop them getting at the money to try and divert it all that way. Playing a really long game.
Which would show why she would cut him out of the portrait, because she obviously would hate him.
Yeah. Or maybe she's just found the suicide note and found out it was a fake.
I mean, it's old, and I see, and from the faded, it sounds like it's been out in the it's been getting sunlight for a while.
Did we ever establish what Thomas did for a job?
No.
No.
Scrolly,
Going with just thinking on other clues they've got the dried blood and the broken glass.
Yeah,
So
but
obviously this pearl necklace was a dog collar, so it was too small. What if when he's been forcing the necklace on, she's been having her eggnog and smashed the glass on him,
Mm.
hence the dried blood. Got it on the necklace.
Hmm.
Actually, that's probably more likely than a dog bite.
What about the secret crawl space? How does that connect?
Well, that's how they would have gotten in and out.
Yeah.
So it would have to be someone who knew the house, which again,
Could
I
be
mean,
any.
everyone is family. I mean, I'm not considering the staff. Well, okay, I'm not considering the staff. They'd know the house too, but I don't think. Yeah, no.
It certainly seems. Well, all the staff that are in the house at the moment are also female as well, and if it's really big fingerprints,
Mhm.
that still suggests male.
so Thomas killed her because he's a dick, and like money and various, you know, long disagreements, grudges, murders. Amelia managed to hit him with the cup or something, which caused a bit of blood. He used the weird crawl space thing to get through. The suicide note, we think, was a fake used to make it look like Amelia's lover killed himself, but it was actually Thomas, as he likes killing, and the family, being powerful, sort of hushed it up. Is there any clues we're not?
So far from what you said, I haven't heard about the stack of unpaid bills, the argument between Amelia and her lawyers,
And Everett's request for money.
and Everett's request for money.
Well,
Well-
I think it's in here because the lawyers wanted to sell the necklace because there's whatever reason there's debts mounting up, and she's refusing to sell it because of like the sentimental value. And like sort of lawyers being like, you got to sell this. This is the financial situation you're in. The Everett, he can't get any money because again, like there's no money aside from perhaps some of these objects in the house. And I think that's
And
everything.
the unpaid bills as well.
Unpaid bills would be like.
So that's all point. So it's all
Bills.
pointing to the lack of. You're saying it's all pointing to the lack of money that she has.
Mhm, mhm.
Which
Oh,
would
so the unpaid bills were why the request was turned down. Because
Well,
she's
I
already
think
having
it's just
difficulties.
it's reflective that she's running out of money.
yeah.
I'm
so
guessing
bills-
partly. My first thought was like from maintaining the house and all the decorations and stuff. So like,
Yeah, I mean
very
it's
elaborate.
not out ridiculous that she could have just been going through money because it's already been there and has started using her capital and she's got nothing.
Yeah, like she didn't
Yeah.
do anything, did she? Like,
No.
Mm.
So, if I may recap, your suggestion is that Amelia had severe money problems. The only thing of value she had was this pearl necklace, which she just refused to part with.
Mhm.
Thomas came in, trying to squeeze more money out of her. She refused, and he killed her, and then legged it back through the crawl space. Is that about
Yes.
sum up?
Yes,
yes.
pretty much.
Okay.
And he, like Thomas would know, like the grandfather would know that like his grandson had gone for it and his son-in-law was after money and
That is all 11 clues. Complexity is
Yeah.
7, so you're at +4 on the dice roll. 2d6 +4, please. One
Is this-
person.
Who
This
wants
is
to roll?
One person.
I don't mind doing it if no one else wants to.
go on,
mean-
Rob.
Yeah, you go for it, Robin.
I'm not sure I trust my dice right now.
That's
Yeah.
a 9 plus 4. So
That's a 13.
Yeah.
That is a complete success. You are correct. And it is roughly at about this time, coincidentally, that Detective Inspector Dalrymple and Dr. Stern turn up, having been brought by Eudora and the other Cowlers. And they come blustering in like, right, nobody move. We'll take charge of this situation. Right, where's the body? Right, these are suspects. What do you wish to do? How do you wish to?
I take out a.
Base. Go on.
I've got a little handkerchief, but I just like I've got this old coffee on your chin.
Yeah, thank you, Omar. I left the station in a rush. What's it's you again. It's you lot again. Well, what's been happening here? Have you solved it already?
We
Yep.
have. We have quite a convincing story. Would you like us to join us in the drawing room and we can
Have tea and biscuits.
have tea and biscuits and discuss with the family what we believe has happened here?
And maybe I can whip up something nice with lavender to try correct the smell of your stockings right now, Rose.
Very well.
But if you would be so kind, Myrtle Dar.
So as you do so, you get all the family together. It's like the full-on like Miss Marple, Hercule Poirot, like one of you in this room is a murderer, like going down each person's like family history and stuff. And you do nail Thomas for it, and he does he does cave. He gets like quite violent about it, complaining about the fact there's no money. He was forced to be here, but there's no money. Gets bonked over the head with a frying pan, which is the traditional way of doing these things.
Da, da, da.
And he is taken away by Inspector Dalrymple, and Dr. Stern goes up and prepares the body for transportation. You got a 13 with that. As people start to leave, the family starts to leave, you start to leave, the Carolers start to leave. You see that a suitcase has been left behind. It looks like it's got the initials TH on it.
Well, I'm opening that up.
You open it up, and at the top of the suitcase, there's a white porcelain mask.
Ooh.
Is it an owl mask?
It's like
Not a dragon, is it?
not a dragon, no. It's like what you'd see in a Greek sort of like typical like classical Greek
tragedy.
tragedy. Yeah.
I thought of owls because I spotted John in chat talking about owls flying silently.
Is it? We've seen something like this before. Someone has, haven't they? Where like they caught a glimpse. I think it might even be me who caught a glimpse of someone through a window or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Very sinister.
It's not the TH, it's not Thomas Hawthorne. There's nothing else that marks it out as anyone's, is there?
No, that's he's the only one there with the initials TH.
Before the scene finishes, I go and stand next to what's the 17-year-old called? Who I now have
Alice.
bound with Alice. And I go and sit there and say, now Alice, dear, I know that there is benefit to these modern connections because presumably she's still standing like looking at her face like on her phone and all of that on TikTok or something. I'm like, but you understand we solve this by talking to the people around us
Yeah,
and
fine.
being engaged with the
Well,
world.
it sounds much better than my evening. I was busy traipsing up and down the streets looking for that police station.
So I think Alice actually, by using her phone and researching like old records and whatnot, had come to much the same conclusion. And I shall congratulate her on using modern technology, to get there.
Well, she didn't do the Miss Marple reveal, did she?
No, but she got the police, so like,
It sounds like she didn't do a very good job of it, and she clearly wasn't using maps on her phone if she had to traipse up and down past the street. to
Bloody
find
hell,
it.
your tone's changed quick, hasn't it?
Brilliant.
I really want my level up. Everyone else has had one.
Woo!
And on that note, I think we come to the end of Jingle Bell Shock, as the Mavens are once again triumphant in uncovering the murderer. Most horrid. Although no one seems to care about this one too much. Nobody seems to be bothered about this particular murder very much. Nobody-
Livia is.
Hmm.
She is of the opinion, being again a nasty, rich woman. She's very concerned about the plight of the angry rich woman community.
Is this
So-
like a horrible ghosts of the future thing for her, like a bit Christmas caroling?
No, no, no. It's not in the sense that she's like, this could become me. She's like, I am this, and our community deserves respect and protection of the law.
So, on that note, shall we run down our end of session questions to see how people did?
I was just amused by Milady Law's comment that Alice posted the conclusion of the mystery on Instagram.
Yep, got minute. No, nobody
Yeah,
believed.
it's a-
Nobody believed her.
Is there something else we need to do where, like, about the wrapping up about the cozy side of things, or have I got that wrong? Is it just
I-
this?
I don't believe so. Not for the cozy. Not for that. Not for wrapping up. I don't think. I think
Okay,
wrapping
sorry,
wrapping
I'm
up.
sorry for-
Wrapping up. It's end of session questions and then stars and wishes.
Okay.
So, how do people do?
Oh, and can Rose nick a pair of wellies for the way home?
Yes,
Because it's rich.
Yes.
We can't.
yes. Your dogs are still covered in wee. Your shoes are still covered in wee.
But they are now lavender. There's now a lavender scent covering it up.
Lavender covered.
Brilliant. So, how do people do with their personal goals?
We solved a mystery.
Yay! That's enough for Rose to level up, I think.
Well, yeah, it is. I still just wanted extra for next time.
Of course,
Because
yep.
then I would say that I did share my wisdom about talking to people and connecting with the
Yep,
younger generation.
Yep.
And or I made her a sweatshirt, a jumper.
Yeah, I think I managed 2 bits of doting.
And would it count that I showed someone I've still got it by making a load of Christmas jumpers?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Does attempting a staring contest count as acting a woman half my age?
Yes. Staring contest with like the half-blind grandma. I'll give you that.
You guys consider still got it? I mean, like, you know, that's normally like, you know, jumping off a moving train or something, and it's being interpreted as, well, I've knitted some jumpers.
I knit jumpers now.
I was going to say not cleaning up the dishes.
Yep.
Acting half the age.
My questions, I had share your wisdom with a young person, which I think I did many times, and alcohol.
I question the validity of the wisdom, but okay, I'll give it you.
We have been fussing Alice successfully.
And did you share your memory of a late family member? I did when
You
I
tried to poison
poisoned
her.
I didn't try. I did,
You-
but this was only a mild poisoning to like hurt, not kill. She died of an unrelated poisoning years later.
Oh dear.
Unrelated poisoning.
You're getting in the habit of this, huh? Well, you have been in the habit of this.
I've no idea what you're talking about. Just because her husband died in suspicious circumstances.
And your sister died in suspicious circumstances. I'm gonna have to ask about your parents.
Honest Philippe doesn't die in suspicious circumstances.
No.
I can't believe it even raised a suggestion.
How many Philippes have there been? Tell me.
When Olivia employs him, he just like changes the name to Philippe. That's it.
And just so we're clear, Rose might still have it. Sarah does not because she used the wrong colour.
Anybody else? Is that?
I'm starting to suspect there might be a Philippe room in Olivia's house.
It's like all the Philippes over the years.
No, I've employed several valets over the years, none of whom have died in my service, and
No, just immediately as soon as they're not in your service on the way out.
You just tactically spied them before they died.
Have we done with the questions then? Is the next question. Are we all good? Are we happy with our questions? Are we happy with our experience points? Good.
So what do we get? Because I've done 3 questions here.
Yeah, so you get 3
What-
experience points.
And how many do we need to?
5.
5. Ah, that's it. Yes, I see.
Yeah, using the ticking option in the PDF.
Nice.
So Sarah needs to choose a new option for Rose for later on. And yeah, let's go stars and wishes. What do people? Let's start with Richard. Stars and wishes. What did you like? What would you like to see more of?
I'd like to see more weird shit. The I want to get into the weird dog transformation plot lines of solving murders. I really liked there being sort of other rich, horrible people who Livia sort of knew. And she didn't like Amelia, but like she's just part of her circle. So that was like, the thing. I like that. I also want to point out, and I mean this, right? I mean this, so don't tempt us next time. If the dog had done something to Livia, right, that dog would be dead. So, bear that in mind.
Wow. Stanza.
I've been enjoying little hints of spooky stuff. It's like the Philippe theory, growing picture of Olivia's story.
That's the cozy vignettes for next time when she enters the room. It's like picture after picture after picture of different Philippes over the years.
Wishes, I want to try use my Maven moves more. Like I keep slipping up with the timing for like Dupont, and it was like I got a little herbalism though, so that was good.
That's good. Yep. Yeah. Robin.
I'm gonna do me wishes first. I just wish my brain would work better to kind of connect the dots.
Hug, internet hug.
As for stars, and yes, I suppose for wishes as well. Thinking to use my Maven move because I keep forgetting all about that. As for stars, cool. I think I like the grandmother.
Yeah, well, it looks like sitting there. Like...
Oh yeah, I do like that she was just. I immediately went for her, but she didn't track. She didn't let anything pass. I hope we see her again. Also, note from Milady Law also gives a vote for weird shit.
Yeah. Oh yes. I'm sure we can do that. And Sarah.
I genuinely liked it because I really did enjoy Knives Out over Christmas. It was quite fun doing a pretend eat Knives Out / whichever Agatha Christie.
It did turn into like Knives Out, didn't it? Kind of, didn't it?
Well, I think when you mentioned Everett, who was a movie star with the cable knit jumper, I was like, well, that's Chris Evans and Knives Out, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, he didn't make the cut for the theory, clearly.
Yeah, so I genuinely enjoyed that just because of timing wise. It was quite fun. Wishes, I'm really looking forward to seeing how like it develops into the big story arc and what happens next. And yeah, I guess spooky stuff, but just how everything connects together.
Well, you've had a bit of a taste of the history of Brindlewood Bay now in the book we found. Some weird stuff going on. Some weird stuff going on there, yeah. So we'll probably learn more about. I don't know when we're going to be able to do the next session. It might have to be April because I believe we're doing another game in March because we're doing another game in February. So the next one might be in March of this one, which is good because.
You're still there, Jeff. We've lost you.
Sorry. Hello. Oh.
You froze a moment, but I gathered we're getting one in March.
Cool. Now just saying, like, we've got another game going on in February, so the next one might be in March, which is good because the new book, Nephews in Peril, has finally come out, and all new stuff in there that you can play with, which is good because I was running out of mysteries. So yeah, definitely look forward to that. Keep an eye out for the website. In the meantime, let's go to the credits and see what's coming up. So, coming up, we have the following streams. I can barely see that. We have Ben the Quest Giver is playing Journey tomorrow evening on a random game night Journey. So tune in for that at Ben the Quest Giver. On Thursday, the Angel Games Play will be playing Genshin Impact because they play a lot of that game. They love that game. On Saturday, Robin, we've got a new stream starting as Robin steps into the DM's chair with Tyranny of the Dragons. So tune in for that on Saturday on our channel. On Sunday, Richard, it's me and you with Rhyme of the Frost Maiden.
Yeah.
And I think last time we left it, some of us were getting up close and personal with a ghost, and Snicket suddenly decided to age 40 years.
Oh!
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that's gonna be fun. See how we get out of that one.
But we
Mike-
had a whole adventure in
We did, yeah.
in between this moment. So
We did, yeah. No, the weird thing is, like, my character in the previous campaign got hit by a ghost as well for 40 years. I don't know what it is. The ghosts just have it in for me.
Ooh, they
We need to have that in Tyranny of Dragon then as well, Robin.
yeah,
Go-
make sure that happens.
Make sure I get hit by a ghost for 40 years in Tyranny of Dragons.
They can smell that you like this with the weird, spooky stuff.
And next Tuesday, we are starting our new mini-series in Cyberpunk Red. As a group of net runners, solos, mercenaries get together in Night City to try and just make a bit of money and make a name for themselves. All of that good stuff coming up and more. If you have enjoyed our stream, do please give us a follow. It's a completely free way to support us. Completely great way to see when we go live. Do follow our YouTube channel. Where you can see this and all the other replays of the shows that we do. We do have a Discord. Join our Discord. Chat about this or any of our other games. The links are below the stream window. And with that, let's see who is available for raiding. Unless anybody in the chat would like to guide the raid.
No.
No, you go.
We'll go for Spammels then. It's not often we get to raid into Spammels, but let's go for Spammels. He's playing Sea of Thieves because that's what he does. And he's quite good at it. So let's jump in the chat.
Pirates.
Let's jump in the chat and say hello to Spammels. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time with this. Speak to you soon, guys. Bye.
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 Raid is away.